Assalamu alaikum. This is Prutusha Burwal welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus calls for coordinated action from all relevant agencies to ensure Bangladesh's smooth and timely graduation from LDC status. Election Commission to take decision on Awami League's registration after receiving formal instructions from government, says Chief Election Commissioner. BNP welcomes government's decision to impose restrictions on Awami League's activities, says BNP Standing Committee member Salahuddin Ahmed. BuddhaPunima, biggest religious festival of Buddhists being celebrated across the country, including Chattogram. Heat waves of varying degrees sweeping across the country, including Chattogram, affecting daily life of mass people. India and Pakistan accuse each other of violations hours after two nations agreed to cease fire following days of cross-border military strikes. And Bangladesh reached semi-finals of SAF Under-19 Championships with 3-0 win over Bhutan in second and last group stage match at Arunachal in India. Viewers, those were the headlines, so moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus called for urgent and coordinated action from all relevant agencies to ensure Bangladesh's smooth and timely graduation from least developed country LDC status. He made the remarks during a high-level meeting with the LDC Graduation Committee held at the State Guest House Jamuna in the capital today, where progress on key deliveries was reviewed. The chief advisor said the government has already attracted the attention and support of investors, funders, and development partners. Now we must build on the efforts already underway and intensify their collective action to move forward with speed and purpose, he added. Emphasizing the importance of institutional readiness, Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus called on all stakeholders to move in unison. He further assured that the Chief Advisor's office will take an active role in overseeing the process. During the meeting, the LDC Graduation Committee identified 5 priority actions that must be completed on an urgent basis. The actions are full operationalization of the national single window with participation from all relevant agencies, implementation of the National Tariff Policy 2023 through a clear action plan, execution of key measures under the National Logistics Policy 2024, including infrastructure projects, operational readiness of the Effluent Treatment Plant ETP at Savar Tannery Village, and full-scale operation of the Active Pharmaceutical Ingredient API Park of Gajoria in Munshiganj. Finance Advisor Dr. Salahuddin Ahmed, Chief Advisor Special Assistant Dr. Anisuzuman Chaudhry, Chief Advisor Special Envoy for International Affairs Lutfi Siddiqui attended the meeting. Besides, members of the LDC Graduation Committee and policy advisors were present. Meanwhile, the Advisory Council gave in principle and final approval to the draft of the Anti-Terrorism Amendment Ordinance 2025, adding provisions to prohibit individuals or entities involved in the terrorist activities and their activities. The draft was approved in a meeting of the Advisory Council held at the State Guest House Jamuna today, with Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus in the chair. Members of the Advisory Council and the concerned secretaries were present in the meeting. The Election Commission will take a decision on the registration of the Awami League, which was ousted from power in a mass uprising after receiving formal instruction from the government. Chief Election Commissioner A.M.M. Nasiruddin said, There will be a discussion with the commissioners tomorrow. The CAC said if the gazette banning the Awami League is issued tomorrow, a decision will be taken on the matter tomorrow. Meanwhile, EC Secretary Akhtar Ahmed also said the Commission will work according to the government's instructions on banning the Awami League. BNP welcomed the government's decision to impose restrictions on Awami League's activities. This has been stated by Salahuddin Ahmed, a member of the party's standing committee. He said the mafia's strength has no recognition anywhere in the country or abroad as a political party of Awami League. He made these comments while replying questions from journalists at the International Mother Language Institute in the capital today. Salahuddin Ahmed said Awami League does not believe in democracy. There is no existence of democracy in their DNA. He also praised the initiative to amend the law to bring Awami League under the law as a party. BuddhaPunima, the biggest religious festival of the Buddhist community, is being celebrated across the country today. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus greeted the Buddhist community on the occasion of BuddhaPunima. The Buddhist community is celebrating the day with grandeur at various monasteries through worship of the Buddha, lighting of lamps, peace processions, religious discussion, and congregational prayers. People are paying their respects by offering flowers, fruits, and sweets before the statue of Buddha, lighting lamps, and reciting religious scriptures. The devotees are seeking global peace and the welfare of humanity through their prayers. Nearly 2,500 years ago, on this very day, the Lord Gautam Buddha was born, attained enlightenment and Mahaparinirvan. All history occurred on this full moon day of the month of Boishak. That's why it is known as BuddhaPunima among the global Buddhist community. The core philosophy of Buddha's life is rooted in non-violence, equality, compassion, and peaceful coexistence. On the occasion of the day, Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus extended greetings to members of the Buddhist community. Meanwhile, BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi hoped for peace across the country and the world through the non-violent philosophy of Buddhism. He made the remarks today while speaking at a rally in front of the National Press Club in the capital organized by the Nationalist Buddhist Forum on the occasion of BuddhaPunima. Nationalist Buddhist Forum President Dilip Borwa, General Secretary Parthopratim Borwa, BNP leaders among others were present on the occasion. Leaders from various social, political, and cultural organizations extended greetings and congratulations to the Buddhist community marking the day. On the occasion of BuddhaPunima, a colorful peace procession was taken out in front of the city's DC Hill this morning, organized by Shomilito BuddhaPunima Udjapon Porishad in Chattogram. The procession was inaugurated by BNP Standing Committee member Amir Khosru Mahmood Chaudhry and City Mayor Dr. Shahadat Hussain. Earlier in a brief discussion, Amir Khosru Mahmood Chaudhry said, "There is no such thing as the rule of majority in Bangladesh. Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists, Christians are all Bangladeshis. Everyone has their own religion and their own state." President of the Shomilito BuddhaPunima Udjapon Porishad Riton Borwa presided over while City Mayor Dr. Shahadat Hussain, Chattogram Metropolitan Police CMP Deputy Commissioner Muhammad Alamgir Hussain, former General Secretary of Chattogram Metropolitan BNP Amul Hashir Bokkur, RKK Bangladesh Branch Minister Muri Masanibu, and leaders of the Buddhist community, among others, addressed the occasion. The procession paraded various streets of the city. Heat waves of varying degrees are sweeping across the country, including Chattogram. Working people are exhausted by such intense heat wave, which is also affecting their daily work life. The heat wave of Boishak, which has spread across the country, affected the public life both indoors and outdoors. However, working people are suffering the most in this heat wave. In this intense heat, from rickshaw pullers to roadside vendors, construction workers to those who work outside are panting in this heat. They said it has become difficult for them to work outside in this heat. To get some relief from the intense temperature of Boishak, people are flocking to various shops and roadside stalls selling cold drinks, including lachis and sharbots. Many working people are seen to take a little rest in the shades of the trees. Meanwhile, Potting Meteorological Office said there is a possibility to light to moderate rain or thunder showers with gusty or squally winds at one or two places in Chattogram. The maximum temperature recorded in the city today was 35.2 degrees Celsius, which is 2.9 degrees higher than normal. Now, international news. India and Pakistan accused each other of violations hours after the two nations said they had agreed to a ceasefire following days of cross-border military strikes. After sounds of explosions were heard in Indian-administered Kashmir, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said there had been repeated violations of the understanding we arrived at. A short while later, Pakistan's foreign ministry said it remained committed to faithful implementation of a ceasefire, notwithstanding the violations being committed by India in some areas. The fighting between India and Pakistan over the last 4 days has been the worst military confrontation between the two rivals in decades. The use of drones, missiles and artillery started when India struck targets in Pakistan and Pakistan-administered Kashmir in response to a deadly militant attack in Pahalgam last month. After 4 days of cross-border strikes, India and Pakistan said they had agreed on a full and immediate ceasefire. US President Donald Trump announced the news on his Truth Social platform on Saturday morning, saying that it had been brokered by the US. Pakistan's foreign minister later confirmed the agreement had been reached by the two countries, adding that 36 countries were involved in the diplomacy. But hours after the announcement, residents and reporters in the main Indian-administered Kashmiri cities of Srinagar and Jammu reported hearing of the sounds of explosions and seeing flashes in the sky. At least 23 people, including several children, have been killed in Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip since dawn, amid months-long Israeli blockade that has deepened the humanitarian crisis in the war-torn coastal enclave. 4 Palestinians were killed and others were wounded Saturday evening after an Israeli airstrike targeted a tent sheltering displaced families in Deir el-Balah in the central Gaza Strip. Earlier, Palestinian news agency Wafa said Israeli warplanes bombed a tent in the Sabra neighborhood of Gaza City on Saturday morning, killing 5 members of the Taylor family. 3 children, their mother and her husband were sleeping inside the tent and were bombed by Israeli occupation aircraft. The children's maternal grandfather Abu Al-Kar said the strikes came without warning and without having done anything wrong. In parallel, a drone attack on Gaza City's Tafa neighborhood left 6 people dead and 1 more in the Sheikh Radwan area of the city, where Israel bombed an apartment belonging to the Zakir family. Further south, Wafa said Israeli gunboats opened heavy fire on the shores of Rafah, killing a man identified as Mohammed Said al-Badwal. 2 more civilians were injured in an attack on the Al-Mawasi humanitarian zone west of Rafah. Russian President Vladimir Putin called for direct talks with Ukraine, saying they should start without delay as early as 15th of May. It comes hours after European leaders, including British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron, visited Ukraine and urged Russia to agree to an unconditional 30-day ceasefire. In response, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov had said Moscow would have to think this through, but warned that trying to pressure US is quite useless. In his statement, Putin said he would not rule out that in the course of the talks which he proposed should happen in Turkey's capital Istanbul, Russia and Ukraine may be able to agree new ceasefires, a new truce. The Russian leader said he would speak to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan on Sunday to discuss the details. Kyiv has not commented on the proposals from Putin. Now, sports news. Football. Bangladesh won to the semi-finals of the SAF Under-19 Championship with a 3-0 win over Bhutan in their second and last group stage match at Golden Jubilee Stadium in Arunachal. Murshid Ali and Shuman Soren found the net in the first half to give Bangladesh a 2-0 advantage before Najmul Huda Faisal scored in stoppage time to cap off a comprehensive victory for Bangladesh. In the day match, Murshid Ali put Bangladesh ahead in the 13th minute by an accurate angular shot from small box that touched the Bhutan net, hitting the sidebar. Suman Soren scored the second goal for Bangladesh in the 28th minute by a straight shot from goalmouth melee. Bangladesh sealed the fate of the match in the 6th minute of the added time by a ground shot from the danger zone.